There's a difference between a woman who looks good and a woman who lives well. A woman who moves with ease, who creates warmth in every space she enters. She knows how to take care of others, but also herself. That is a woman in her wifey era. She's not just attractive on the outside, she's attractive and magnetic from the inside. She's the full package. Some might say a walking green flag. And that kind of energy doesn't happen by accident. It is built skill by skill. Because I don't know about you, but when I was in my masculine energy, when I was pushing things, when I was forcing things, when I was controlling and judging, I didn't feel safe in my own energy. I was cold to myself. There was no softness, there was no glow, there was no warmth, there was no sense of home. But now, after mastering and continuously implementing these 7 skills into my life, my energy feels like a warm hug on a cold day. I genuinely feel invited into my own energy. I love nurturing myself, I love nurturing my body, my space, my environment, and that is homemaker energy. It's not just existing, but it's nourishing your own essence. And that's the kind of energy that becomes like a kiss of honey in your relationships, especially your romantic ones. When you feel invited and warm and safe in your own energy, you just pull people in without saying a word. In this video, I'm breaking down 7 feminine energy skills you must master, not to impress anybody, but to embody the kind of softness, self-respect, and capability that makes your entire life just feel elevated. These are all skills that every woman should know for herself, because a woman that has these skills in her toolbox will never need or rely on anything outside of her. Not needing to rely on things outside of you, but choosing to get help from outside of you are 2 very different things. When you require things outside of you to take care of yourself, that's a very different energy than knowing how to take care of yourself, but accepting support and allowing people to do things for you. One is you just literally cannot live without other people and people doing things for you. The other is you're very self-sufficient, but you're allowing yourself to receive from others. There's a huge difference. So mastering these skills is extremely important. Before we get into it, my name is Vikita, and this channel is dedicated to all things feminine reality creation and becoming the full package, aka just becoming your best self. If you want more from me than just my YouTube videos, make sure to check the links in my description box where you can access my feminine energy manifestation course or my other digital products. And if you're not already following me on Instagram, make sure you do so that you can see all the behind the scenes of how I actually apply my own advice. Skill number 1 is cooking. Cooking is the ultimate feminine energy alchemy. There is something undeniably magnetic about a woman who can nourish not only others, but herself. Cooking a nice meal for myself every single Friday night is my idea of a solo date. I feel sexy, I feel good, I feel magnetic, I feel in my own essence and in my own energy. And that is what you want to create for yourself. Cook dishes that make you feel so warm and so invited in your own energy. Cooking in its most raw form is feminine alchemy. You're taking raw ingredients and you're creating something beautiful and nourishing with them. Since the dawn of time, food has been something that just gathers people. It creates a sense of home and warmth and just comfort. So when you cook for yourself, when you cook for others, you're bringing in that warmth, you're inviting people into your space, you're inviting yourself into your space, not just getting a takeout, because that's not really creating an experience. An experience is you getting dressed up, maybe having on a nice sexy pajamas, which is what I do, and then you have a glass of wine, you've got some nice jazz music playing, and you're just cooking a really comforting meal for yourself, and you get to enjoy that in your own space that feels good, that feels warm, but also you have the skill of taking care of other people, cooking for others, inviting them into your space, and just bringing people together over a meal. The feminine is all about creativity, flow, nurture, and warmth. And cooking is one of the very few activities that you can do every single day that taps into all of those. Personally, my hot take is that every woman should cook. And the fact that that's a hot take is a little bit a confusion to me, but nevertheless, I digress. I think every woman should know how to cook. I think she should know how to cook not for other people, but for herself. Cooking yourself a nice meal, being able to nourish yourself, not relying on anything else or anyone else outside of you, knowing how to embrace your own energy. Because at the end of the day, if you're not able to nourish yourself, you are automatically going to be seeking that outside of you. And that energy where you're seeking things outside of you is energy that is extremely repelling. So yes, the simplest thing, just by knowing how to cook for yourself, can completely elevate your magnetism. And again, knowing how to feed yourself and knowing that you can cook up a quick meal is building self self-trust within yourself, knowing that, okay, I've got food in the fridge. I know how to make a meal. I'm hungry. I need to eat. You're not relying on something outside of you. You're signaling, I can take care of me. You're signaling to yourself, but you're also signaling to others that I can take care of me. I know how to comfort myself. I'm not helpless, because a helpless individual is one of my pet peeves. Not that I'm trying to date you or you're trying to date me, but helpless individuals just give off this very annoying energy because they're always trying to take. They're very grabby individuals because they don't know how to take care of themselves. That energy is very, very repelling. Skill number 2 is learning how to be a good hostess and learning the skill of hospitality. This is basically the art of making people feel safe. This is a very subtle one because it's not overt. It's a very quiet power that women possess if they know how to host. It's not to impress anyone. It's more this sense of being able to pull people in and embrace them. That's a very, very sexy feminine energy skill. You're creating an environment for one person, for a group of people to feel seen in your presence and in your space, to feel warmth and to feel invited. Have you ever been to someone's house where you're literally sitting on the edge of the couch? There's no water being given. There's no snacks. You're just sort of sitting there like, okay, what's going on? There's no real conversation happening. It feels cold. It feels dark, and it feels a little dingy. That is the opposite of knowing how to host. Versus when you go to some people's house, they've got snacks. They're bringing you the drink that you like. They're making you feel seen. They're making you feel invited. You're sitting back. You're leaned into the conversation. You're not just like waiting for this moment to be over. That is hosting and hospitality skills. And for a woman to be able to possess that is very, very crucial, because when you have a family, when you're hosting friends over, you want to make them feel like they're being seen, like they're excited to come over, not like, oh my god, now we gotta go over to Vikita's house and Vikita doesn't offer any snacks. We're sitting at the edge of her couch and we hate this. You don't want that. You want to be the one that everyone's like, oh my god, we're going to her house. She has the best food. She has the best snacks. She has the best drinks. She's always taking care of us. She knows how to throw it down in the home. And that is the energy that has people walking through your door and letting them exhale like, oh, I just love being here. And here's the misconception most people have, and that is you need to have a fancy setup. It needs to be a Pinterest board apartment for you to be a good host and to offer hospitality. But that's the complete opposite. Those are all aesthetics, which are nice to have things, okay? They're cherry on top things, but it's your energy, it's the warmth, and it's the actual environment that you've created for people. It's about your energy. Think about all the things that make you feel really cozy. A little soft jazz playing in the background. Actually, these are all things that make me feel cozy. A little soft jazz in the background. Candles lit, some nice lighting happening, snacks, a warm blanket, whatever it is, just creating that very nice environment. And I want to make it a point to say that the way you care for yourself is the way you're going to be able to care for other people. It goes back to that famous saying, you can only meet people where you have met yourself. So if you're treating yourself very coldly, you don't create warmth for yourself, you don't set up a cute little vibe for yourself, you don't nourish yourself, you are not going to be able to do that for other people, because ultimately we are all selfish individuals and we are all out for ourselves. So if we can't even offer those things to ourselves, warmth, grace, compassion, inviting energy, we're not going to be able to do that for other people. So if you lack these skills, think about how you're treating yourself first and start there. Skill number 3 is very obvious, and it's cleaning. Feminine energy is clear energy. Feminine energy is very sensitive, and women are very, very sensory individuals. So when our environment is very cluttered, we're absorbing all of that energy. Your nervous system is very much on edge because everything feels very out of place. And so feminine energy is all about just being clean and clear and organized. You will never be able to fully relax in an environment that is disgusting and messy and just disorganized. And even though you think you might have just gotten used to it because it's been like that for a week or so, you are going to feel a difference in your energy when it's clean and when it's not. You're going to feel a little bit more tense and restless and on edge because your nervous system is not feeling it's not feeling comfortable, it's not feeling warm and fuzzy in your environment. And that's why sometimes maybe you feel a little bit blocked energetically because there's laundry everywhere, the dishes aren't done, you feel like you have so many things on your to-do list. That is an energetic block. Your outer environment is a reflection of your inner world. Both are working together energetically. So make sure you're taking care of your outside world so that you can help ease the inner world. For me, I tend to be on the lazier side of things. Do I let things get a little bit messier? Absolutely I do. So I don't spend my time getting there with a toothbrush and cleaning every corner. I'm not crazy like that. I'm not OCD in any way, shape, or form, but I create reset rituals for myself every Sunday, every Friday, and a midweek reset. At night, I do like a closing shift. I make sure everything is clean and tidy so that the morning I wake up, everything's already done. So create moments of order that nourish your femininity instead of feeling like you have to be on top of it 24/7. If you tend to let things get messier like I do, make sure you have certain reset routines in place so that you're creating those moments to clean up after yourself, and then you can move forward rather than feeling like you have to put every single thing away as soon as you use it. Some people are like that. That is not the way I am built. I let things get messy, and then I have reset routines that clean up the entire mess that I've created. A few reset routines that you can try mastering is like a bed reset routine, a Sunday reset, a bathroom deep clean. You can combine a few routines. Just make sure you find a few reset routines that work for you and tackle the most important things for you. I just want to take a moment to thank Foreo for sponsoring today's video. Their products have taken my self-care to the next level, and I want to emphasize that self-care is one of the pillars of elegance because it's such a devotional act. Their FAQ 202 LED mask has been one of my personal favorites over the last couple of months. It's a new generation of silicone LED face masks. I love self-care that can be stacked, and this mask allows just that. I wear it when I'm meditating, when I'm doing housework, while I'm online shopping, and the reason I love it so much is because it's cordless and so lightweight, so I can do other things at the same time. There are 8 different wavelengths, including NIR to tackle signs of aging and other skin concerns. I've noticed already that my skin looks less dull, more even, and just overall smoother. Some other benefits include re-strengthening different layers of the skin, boosts skin natural healing processes, reduces wrinkles and fine lines, pores are minimized, redness is reduced, and it just overall gives you that healthy glow. Now, the FAQ 202 mask is rarely on discount, but with my code, you can have 35% off all products, even the ones that might be on discount. So if you want to take your self-care to the next level, grab my coupon code Vikita35 in the link below. Skill number 4 is putting yourself together. This is one I am very passionate about. Every single woman on this planet should know how to put herself together. You should know how to do your hair. You should know how to do your makeup. You should know how to dress yourself, what goes with what. You should know how to do your nails at home. You should know how to wax. You should know how to do everything yourself at home, regardless of if you have the money to get somebody else to do it. I was just recently at a wedding, and I was getting ready with my mom and my aunt. And now us 3, we know how to do everything ourselves. And so we were the people everyone was coming to. And that's totally fine. We're all about girls helping girls and everyone getting ready together. But I'm talking about the person asking for the help. They feel helpless in that moment. This woman couldn't do her hair, so she had to rely on my aunt to do her hair the entire time. And my aunt totally doesn't mind. Like, those are fun little girly things to do together, but it's more so the deeper meaning of it. She had no idea what to do. She was reliant on my aunt. Now, what if my aunt wasn't available to do her hair one night? What was she gonna do? So you have to really understand that there's a deeper meaning behind just knowing how to dress yourself. It's not about always needing to look good or being vain. It's about having the skill so that if you are stuck, if you truly are in a position where you can't get your nails done, you can't get your hair done, you can't get a wax, you know how to do it yourself. You have the tools and the skills. This is where your feminine energy blooms. Your feminine energy blooms through consistent self-honoring routines and rituals. Now, for me, I have made it a point to master everything. I can wax myself, do my nails, do my hair, do my eyelashes. I can name it. I'm doing it all at home. Not because I can't afford to do it outside, but because when I couldn't afford to do it outside, I had to figure out a budget-friendly way to do it myself. Now I can go and I can get my nails in all the time, but what if I'm on a time constraint and my lady can't get me in? I'm gonna be able to do my nails myself. So it's just these little micro things that every woman should learn. Start off by learning how to do your hair, how to use a curling wand. This is one I'm very, very passionate about because I just think that putting yourself together is an important thing that you must do as a woman. I think you should always look your best and look presentable. That is just one of my values and principles, and I will die on that sword. And then the next part of that is knowing how to put yourself together. So you can want to do it and you can feel really good doing it when someone else does it for you, but then as soon as the event's over or as soon as you don't have a glam team anymore, you don't know how to do it. So now you're back to looking a little bit scrubby. So again, you have your own values and principles. This is one personally I take very, very strongly, and you will see how people treat you differently. Just the other day, I was at a wedding and I was in a green blazer, you know, I think you've seen that outfit before. I was in that green blazer outfit and I looked very, very put together. Even though I just finished a night out, I was very hungover. I had my sunglasses on, but because I carry myself with certain energy, because of the way that my clothes and the way I look make me feel, that is what gets me very, very special treatment. And I will be very honest, I get very, very special treatment because of the way I look and how I put myself together and how I carry that external appearance. And it's so important for you to do the same because you can have pretty privilege too. You just need to know how to put yourself together and to continuously put yourself together, not for anybody else, but for yourself. Taking care of your inner world. Again, this is all about the way you treat yourself is the way others are going to treat you. If you don't feel confident within yourself, if you lack self-esteem, if you struggle with the way you look and the way you feel about yourself, of course you're not going to feel like you want to put yourself together because your mindset is going to be, oh, well, I'm not worth it. I don't deserve it. Like, who am I to even do my hair and to look cute and to look pretty? You got to get past all of that because that is a reflection of how you're showing up in the world, and how you're showing up in the world is how other people are going to show up in your world. So make sure you treat yourself with kindness, with dignity, and with self-respect by taking care of the way you look outside. Other people will notice a difference, and you will notice a difference in how other people treat you. At the end of the day, this comes down to not vanity, but energetic alignment. Aligning with the version of yourself you want to be. Aligning with the woman you see yourself as. Not who you currently are, but who you want to be. And being that woman every single day. Then turns into one day you look around and you're like, wait, I'm that person. You just sort of mold into that version of yourself. So doing the uncomfortable things like getting ready every day, doing your makeup, putting your hair together, putting on a nice outfit might feel uncomfortable in the beginning, but slowly as you do it every day, it will just feel like the most natural thing in the world, and to not do it feels more uncomfortable. Nothing is more elegant and sexy and captivating than a woman who shows the world that she's worthy of taking care of herself. Skill number 5 is creating moods. Feminine energy is sensory, and when we know as a feminine woman how to create sensory environments for other people, it is like this amazing skill that not a lot of people have mastered, but that will take you to the next level. Obviously, I talk a lot about how to look very good. We also need to know that feminine energy is about how you feel. So for yourself, creating very cozy environments that make you feel good. For me, that is what I have to do every single night. Around 6 p.m., I get my dinner, it's made, I've already chefed it up, I've got my candle lit, I've got all my mood lighting on, I've got the show of my evening on, I've got a blanket, and I've got the drink that I'm drinking. Mastering the art of mood setting for yourself and for other people is a skill that is very, very important. That's very subtle, but that gets people to feel some certain way without them knowing why they're feeling so good in your presence. And that's the key to being a high value woman. High value woman doesn't just enter a room, they influence it. They create the room, they create the space. And that's what I like to call sensory energy, where it's the ability to shape your environment through your senses. What they hear, what they feel, what they smell, what they taste, and what they sense when they're around you. Most people, men specifically, know how and what they want to feel. They don't know how to logically express it in a manly way. Like, they know what they want to feel, but because they're not tuned into their feminine energy to the extent us women are, they don't know how to express it. So it's only when they feel the environment change, they're like, that's exactly how I want to feel. When you have nice fresh flowers, when you have a nice mood set, when the lighting is right, when the candles are lit, when there's nice soft music playing in the background, they know what they want to feel, and now they're feeling it, and they can be like, yes, this is exactly what I've been wanting to feel. But they're unable to actually express that through words. So creating those environments for yourself, for other people, for the man that you're seeing, or just, men in general, it really just does add this layer of safety to who you're with. Because again, feminine energy is very intuitive. So without someone having to tell you what they want to feel, you just creating that environment intuitively and matching what you know they want to feel. For yourself, when you're taking a shower, light a candle, have a bubble bath, use eucalyptus essential oils or those eucalyptus things that you can hang in your shower. Those are all moments that are very small that you're adding that sensory vibe to your daily routine. Little things like adding linen spray to your sheets, having mood lighting that changes after a certain time. Having a playlist that you play in the evenings when you're doing your closing shift or when you're doing your nighttime routine, not just quickly rushing through it. It's all about intention. Intention for yourself and the intention that you set when you're with other people and the environment that you make happen for them. The feminine is the master of ambiance, okay? Ambiance, we need it, and the feminine is that. You don't want to just exist in your space. You want to breathe life into it. Skill number 6 is home organization. So you need to create a space where all the good stuff that you're bringing has somewhere to land, right? All the beauty, all the aesthetics, all the sensory beautifulness needs somewhere to land. If you're trying to do all of that stuff and your home is disastrous and you open the cupboards and everything falls out and it's just disorganized, there's nowhere for things to be, that's just chaos. And we can shove it in a closet. We can have one closet that has a bunch of junk, one drawer that has a bunch of junk. Everything else needs to be clean and organized. And this again goes back to being a feminine woman who doesn't just exist in the space you're living in. You're curating it. You are intentionally placing things. You're intentionally living. You're not just existing. Now, this might be extremely woo-woo, but I believe heavily in everything is energy and the circulation of energy. So if you're trying to get to your next level of life, if you're trying to be this woman, but you're still this woman, having a cluttered home doesn't signal that there's any flow of energy happening in your home. There's nowhere to land the stuff, all the new stuff. The energy's stale, it's stagnant. There's no flow, there's no circulation. So it's important that things are not cluttered and just disorganized. Don't think of this as everything needs to be labeled and color coordinated and everything needs to just be perfect. Everything needs to have a home. There needs to be a place for everything to land. You need to have a place for your purses, your spices, your knives, your forks, everything in your home needs to have a home. It doesn't need to be perfect, not color coordinated. It just needs to have a space to be. Don't get stressed about this right now. Don't go opening every drawer trying to change your entire life today, but pick a week to do one thing, pick another week to do a different room. Just make sure that you are decluttering, you're getting rid of junk. We don't need those things anymore. As humans, there's a thing called entropy, and that is basically, it's very easy for things to get dirty and messy and disorganized. It's very hard for us to actually clean up the mess. Notice how without even trying, you move into a new place and you've all of a sudden got all this new junk, even though you just did a declutter before you moved. It's because it's the natural order of life. Chaos is very easy to create, but order is very hard to actually grasp. So order becomes an active effort and chaos becomes very, very passive. So use bins, use baskets, use trays, make sure everything is just in a place. These are all just very, very important homemaking skills when you are stepping into womanhood, entering that wifey era. Even if you're not even married or you're still single, it's okay. It's about just embodying that wifey energy, being that walking green flag that's like, I've got my stuff together. Come to my home, everything's organized. I know how to create a mood. I know how to cook. I know how to clean. Those are all things that I'm doing for myself and I'm also capable of doing for others, and I'm able to pour into myself as well as other people. Those are all very, very sexy things because it's an energy. People aren't looking at the fact that you know how to cook, you know how to clean, they're writing a checklist. They're just feeling invited into your energy because they feel safe with you. They feel like they're taken care of in your energy because obviously you can do those things and your ability to do those things are setting off a certain energy. And number 7 is sewing because self-reliance is hot. All of these things are all about being self-reliant. Self-reliance is sexy and it says, I've got this, I can handle this. Sewing is one of those skills where I think every woman, just how she needs to know how to cook, she needs to know how to sew. It might sound very 1950s, but how many times have you need something altered and the person's gonna take 2 weeks to do it? I've had many of those times, but instead I whip out my sewing machine and I get sewing with a button back on. I get hemming. It is just a very basic skill that every woman should master and every woman should know. It's one of those skills, again, that says, I know how to take care of things and you're safe with me. I got you. Like, think about your mother. My mother is my safe space. Anything I need, she knows how to do. She knows how to cook. She knows how to clean. She just makes me feel so safe and so held in her presence. Like, if everything is going wrong, I know she's going to fix me. She's just gonna be there. It's like a very safe space space to land for me. Ironing, sewing, whatever it is, I can be like, Mom, I need help, and she will do it for me. I'm not looking at the fact that you know how to do these things. I'm feeling very safe in your presence. I'm feeling like I can just land with you. I can take a deep breath with you, and I know everything's gonna be okay. That's what I'm trying to share and hopefully convey when I'm sharing these skills. Yes, they're great things to have, but it's the energy that you cultivate through your ability to master these skills. Knowing how to sew a button, knowing how to close a seam, knowing how to straighten or hem a pair of pants, that puts you in already the top 5% of women that are prepared for life. And the number one thing I want to get across with these points is that this is about competence. A feminine woman who is competent, who is self-reliant, who knows she's got things under control, but she chooses to accept and receive support from others, is a very, very sexy woman who is just screaming like sexiness. Like, I don't know how to describe it. It's just a difference between being very competent and being that woman versus like not knowing how to do anything. Very, very like juvenile, very girlhood. You know, when I was a girl, when I was like 17, 18, like I relied on my mom for everything. Is like, can you iron this? Can you do this? That's fine when you're 17, 18. But once you get into your early 20s, your mid 20s, it's very important that you become competent as a woman, knowing how to do all of these things. For me, it's very important. My mother taught me these things when I was young. I know how to do everything and take care of a home. And I think that's the biggest point I'm trying to get across, is being able to run a home, being able to manage a household, being able to create a space for yourself, which then bleeds into being able to take care of others, is just a different energy than a girl who has no idea what she's doing and is like, oh my God, I need help, and blah, 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 blah. This woman right here, this sexy, feminine woman, is literally a walking magnet for everything. This energy, this competency, this self-reliance bleeds into every area of your life, not just in your romantic relationships. And when you are competent and when you have certain skills and you master these feminine energy skills, you're just giving off a very different energy into the world that people just respond very differently to. It's giving grown, it's giving sexy, it's giving woman. If you truly want to take your feminine energy to the next level and master being the full package, watch this video next.